Mike, hello.
Thank you.
The stage is yours.
Oh, great.
Your topic, partner, Next 47 from Siemens. It's the startup association we actually started 2 years ago, and you're one of them. So I think Stephanie is part of your presentation, right?
No, it's just me.
No, okay. Christine leaves the stage. I leave it to you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, as she was just saying, we're had a second round of funding that was funded by Next 47, looking at new technology. So what I'm going to be talking about is advanced analytics using a product called Seeq. So why do you want to do analytics? What you find is that in most industries, and you'll see there's a number of studies that I reference at the bottom of the slide here, they've been collecting data for a number of years, and there's large volumes of data, but very little insight is gleaned out of that data. In fact, most of these studies suggest that less than 0.5% of that data is actually being used. But there's a lot of benefits that can be achieved by looking at your data and doing the analysis on it, but people just haven't taken the time because they've been collecting the data generally because they may need it for regulatory reasons, or if there's a problem, they'll go back and look. But really where the value comes into play is when you can look at your past problems or past good performance and be able to replicate that going into the future. So as I was saying, that you have an awful lot of data, but really what you want is that information. How do most people get that information traditionally? They use Excel. Engineers love Excel. It's a great tool, but there's a lot of problems with it. There's just sheer limits on the volume of data that you can put into Excel. You lose a lot of context. Once you do a subset of data, you've lost the context of what happened right before and right after that. Usually you've taken it because they say, oh, I'll take a look at a week of data, but maybe something happened the Friday before that week you took that really is an area of interest. You don't know that because you've already done a subset. So time series data is very unique. The data I referenced at the beginning was around time series data, but also data that would put context around it. But what you find in time series data is that there's issues that you won't see in like financial or maintenance data that's more tabular in nature. With time series data, there's, again, sheer volumes of data, so trying to represent that in a trend or on a screen can be very challenging because of the resolution that you need to provide. There can be alignment issues. Different units of measure are used. For instance, the US uses Fahrenheit instead of centigrade, which anyone who's worked in both countries knows can be an issue. There's areas where you have gaps in the data. The data historically that's been collected may not have always been of the best quality. So how do you fill those gaps, or how do you address that issue? There's calculations you may want to do. If you need to look at a volume, for instance, and you want to do a derivative or the area under the curve, trying to do that in Excel is pretty much near impossible to do. So there's a lot of those types of things that make time series data much more challenging to work with. And that's what the basis of our company is, to work with those types of data and make it much more valuable. A question I get quite often is, okay, you're an analytics tool. There's a million of them out there. What makes you different? So there's really three things that make Seeq stand out that I see. One is that it's a self-service tool. A lot of the analytics tools on the market that you see, like Python or R, are very, very good tools, very powerful, but it's very much code-centric. You have to be able to code to use them. It's not something your process engineer or your quality engineer are going to want to spend a lot of time learning. So we put the analytics tools in the hands of the engineer. That's the one aspect of it. The second aspect that makes us a little bit unique is that we focus on time series data. And the third area is that it kind of was highlighted when I was talking about Excel, where you had to take a subset of the data and move it. We access the data where it sits. We don't move it. You don't have to create a data lake. Any of the data that's in your historians or your systems will access where it sits, whether it's in MindSphere or a historian like OSI Pi or AspenTech. We can access that data and not have to have you move it from your system of record. So the 5 areas that we focus on are the area of data wrangling up at the top, and that's really what it's talking about with the data cleanup, the alignment, all of that time series data that needs to be cleaned. A common quote here from people that are working with the analytics is that I spend 90% of my time cleaning up the data and 10% of the time actually looking at it and doing something with it. We aim to change that around, where you spend 10% of your time doing that cleanup and alignment and 90% doing the analytics. So that investigation piece is the core of where you do that work, looking at the root cause analysis, looking at things that are performing well or things that are starting to trend badly. And then there's the aspect of being able to collaboratively do that. We find is engineering teams generally are not all located in one location. Common scenario is oil and gas, offshore teams working with onshore teams. So being able to do this analysis in real time, like a Google Doc, is very important. People can actually see what others are doing and make the changes in real time. And then there's a number of people in that bottom box, or that publishing and monitoring, that are interested in just the results of your analysis. They really don't care how the analysis came about, but they definitely care about that red box and want to be able to fix it so that the problem is solved. So being able to not only do the analytics, but being able to share it with a wider audience is very important. All that leads to the bottom box there, which is basically, you have all of this data that you've collected over the years. It's been kept in a safe or locked away that you really can't get access to it. Well, but now you have ways to access it and really make value out of it. So use it to monitor what you're doing right now, but more importantly, predict things that are going to happen in the future. So avoid failures, improve your batch quality, do real-time testing of batch quality so that you don't have to discard a batch at the end in a batch industry. So with that, there's a quick overview slide, because I only have about 10 minutes or so to talk. I know it's probably enough for most of you, but I just wanted to give you a good view of what the company does and what are the industries that we focus on.
Seeq is an advanced analytics solution for process manufacturing data. Seeq enables you, your team, and your organization to quickly find and share insights that improve production outcomes in continuous, batch, and discrete operations. Seeq starts with access to your data in historians and manufacturing applications, on the cloud or on-premise, in NoSQL or relational databases. With easy-to-use features built on machine learning and big data innovations, Seeq addresses the challenges specific to time series data. Easily access and combine data from multiple sources. Visualize your data with advanced trending, scatter plots, and charts. Quickly cleanse your data for analysis. Add context and calculations to discover insights and predict outcomes. With Seeq, you won't go it alone. Seeq supports collaboration and real-time sharing of documents among colleagues, journals to encourage reuse of studies and analyses, and topics to publish insights from Seeq for employees across your organization. Plus, Seeq integrates with the business intelligence tools you already use, like Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and Spotfire. Root cause analysis, predictive analytics, or creating a production report. Whatever your analytics needs, Seeq empowers your organization to find insights in your time series data to improve bottom line results. Get Seeq and get more value from your data.
Okay, and the only thing I wanted to end with is just a quick snapshot of the architecture of the system, because that quite commonly comes up, and how it's deployed. The server actually connects to those underlying data sources, as I mentioned. So it can be historian data, or it could be data that's more IoT related, like MindSphere. But we don't move the data. We access it on demand, and we do cache it in the central server for performance purposes. But it's not persistent there. It persists in the system of record. And the server can be deployed on-premise, which most of our customers currently do. But it also can be in Azure, AWS, or we offer software as a service as well to a number of customers. So it's any or all of those architectural solutions. And the two applications at the top are just browser-based, so there's no footprint on the desktop. And then, as was mentioned in the video, recognize that there's a lot of other analytics tools that are on the market, and we're not looking to replace them. We're a different tool. It's like using a hammer when you need a screwdriver. So that's, we realize that a lot of those tools are going to be used, and we integrate well with them as well. So with that, I just wanted to thank Next 47 and Siemens for allowing me to do the presentation. And we are still going to be here till the end of the day. We're right by the MindSphere Lounge entrance on the left.
Siemens. Ingenuity for life.